Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved my life, Teespring. Thank you. Okay. Of course, Nudini, we know who made the most money. So today's video, guys, let me, you know, let's since everybody's here, you know, we're basically getting people in here. Why don't we shut down the music? Alrighty, guys. It looks like we're getting some people in here. Thank you, I appreciate it, Teespring. So yeah, Nudini. Obviously we know who's made the most money as a player, maybe. But this that will be a later video that I'm working on. I have all the player salaries from all 3 years. But today's video is going to be breaking down basically all the organizations and how much prize pool money they've won in 3 seasons. So that's what this is going to be. Obviously, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to get in here so I don't have to go back over things, have people asking, oh, yeah, when's this at? So I'll give it about, like, you know, another a minute, you know, 2 minutes or so. But today we're going to be breaking down each NBA2kLeague organization, their winnings year by year, and then I'm going to tell you guys who is the #1 organization to make the most money in the 2K League based off of tournament winnings, you know, all that stuff. So like I said, make sure you guys do me a favor. Go tweet out the stream, retweet the stream. I really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into this. I know that it will get more love later on when I post it on YouTube, because I think people will be able to sit down and want to look at this content, because this is something I think that's very highly interesting. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get right into it just so you guys don't have to wait. Just because, you know what, people who come early, man, they get to see the early action. So obviously, guys, today's video is going to be about breaking down all the different salaries, all the winnings for all the organizations over the last 3 seasons. My future videos are going to be about top salaries for players. I'm doing a top 10 unretained list. I think that should be interesting. Possibility that we might not have an expansion team, maybe, I'm not sure. And later on a later date, I will be doing a mock draft of my own. Send me some of that bread. I agree, Nudini. If you have some extra, you know, dollar bills hanging around, you know, I know you got your girl an engagement ring. I know you got some big plans, man. But if, you know, listen, I only take Benjamins. That's all I'm going to say. If you're going to send money my way, it's got to be Benjamins. But anyway, guys, we are going to get right into this. So we're going to go right in order of, like, alphabetical order. So we're going to transition over to 76ers G. Oh, that is not 76ers GC. One moment, guys. That is a mistake by me. Okay, yeah, 1 second. Look at this. We're already off to a great start, guys. So let me change that real quick because that's not the one that we're starting with. Okay. Boom. Look at that, guys. Okay. Oof, we're off to a great start. All right, so we're going to start with 76ers GC. So 76ers GC has made $312,260 in 3 seasons. They are one of the 17 teams that originally started out the NBA 2K League. 70. I can hear the director yelling. Oh yeah, he's screaming at me right now. So season 1, they made $35,000. Obviously, they were the tip-off champion. This is actually incorrect, guys. Actually, this is a great start. So the numbers are, oh man, look at me, guys. I'm off to a great start. We're gonna go back to the Sixers because I actually messed up. I forgot. I messed up the edit in the beginning. So we'll just jump over to the Blazers. So give me 5 seconds. This is not what I expected. I knew I should have checked this before. But we'll start with the Blazers because I think the Blazers are a very simple one. So we're gonna start with the Blazers. So in season 1, the Blazers had a very successful year. The Blazers in the tip-off tournament, they won $30,000. They didn't win the tournament, but they still walked away with a decent chunk of change. But it's split among 6 people. That's only about like $5,000 a person. They've won $198,100. Looks like a lot of money, but like I said, among 6 people, it really gets, you know, little by little. You got season 2 and 3 mixed up. Yeah. I realized that Zach Stacks afterwards. That one I have to fix. The Sixers one. That's the only one that's messed up. I know the rest are correct. I remembered earlier. I forgot to fix it, but it's whatever. So anyway, the Blazers also made $75,600 in the Churn tournament. Obviously, they were the Churn champions. That was a first place win. So that's how much they got from that. So that's some good money. But when they made playoffs, they lost in the first round, but they still walked away with $25,000, which, I mean, split among 6 people, that's not too bad. It's like $3,000 a person, but either way, it's not the big chunk of change. You know who won Season 1, Knicks Gaming, my guys up in New York. Shout out to the Finals MVP, Nate Call. But Season 2, the Blazers were not making money. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know, it was a bad year in my opinion. They went 3 straight tournaments making $0. They did make the playoffs. Now they were 14-2 if I'm not mistaken in this season, which is kind of crazy to think about. A team that went 14-2 only winning $30,000. You know, we think about it. You know, the Raptors made so much money this year, and you'll see how much they really made. But that is just crazy to me, that the fact that a team can go 14-2 and still walk away with no money. But you know, the Blazers have been a very subpar team when it comes to tournament play. Obviously, they did win the turn at one point, but besides that, they really haven't done much in tournaments. In the tip-off, you know, this year, Blazers just didn't have a good Season 3. They didn't do well in the tip-off. No money there. The turn, no money. They did win one of the cash games. During Week 8 and 9, the NBA2K League held a thing called Money Games, Cash Games. It was to replace the round robin of the $60K that they were giving out. So basically, teams were competing, you know, in money games for $2,500. I mean, split among 6 people, it's not that much money. It's like $400. I think to be exact, $418, but can't remember off the top of my head. But they did go to playoffs. You know, the Blazers made that push in the ticket. They ended up making the playoffs. This year there was no money in the ticket tournament, but that automatically got you a spot in the playoffs. So I guess if you won the tournament, you technically kind of won something because of the ticket, but you didn't get any cash prizes from the ticket this year. Playoff-wise, the Blazers were able to walk away with $35,000. Like I said, you know, very similar to their playoff experience in the past. They're always making around like almost $30,000. If I'm not mistaken, their average is $30,000 a year that they making playoffs every year for the Blazers. So we're gonna move on over to Bucks GG. Bucks GG is an organization. I think they've been very in the middle for the last couple of years, but it definitely got better. And yes, I see that there's 2 eyes of winnings. Don't remind me. I just realized that, guys. This is not going well so far, but I will fix that. Anyway, so we go to the tip-off tournament in Season 1, and they didn't make any money there. Fun fact, Bucks GG, I'm pretty sure, played the first game ever in the NBA2K League, for all my people who've been watching for a couple of years. So we jumped to the tournament, $0 again. The ticket, they only made $6,000. I think they won like a couple games. They made like a little run, but nothing crazy. $0 again in playoffs. Tip-off tournament Season 2, 0 again. And they did make some noise in Season 2 during the turn tournament. Made $15,000, so not too bad. $0 on the ticket, $0 on the playoffs. It's been nothing but zeros for them. This past year, they actually did make playoffs, so it was kind of like a change of culture up there in Milwaukee. They finally kind of did something, but they did only walk away with $40,000 in the Season 3, which, I mean, in Season 3, I'll be honest with you, $40,000 is actually not that much money compared to a lot of organizations in Season 3. So obviously their total winnings is 58,860. You will find out where they rank near the end of this segment, but like I said, we're going to move on. We're going to jump to Cavs Legion. So Cavs Legion is a team that is very interesting because they had a lot of success early on coming into the NBA2K League, and it kind of just shows the downfall of Cavs Legion, and I think that's why they've changed a lot of leadership roles, and they brought in Zoomrock, who I think is a tremendous scout, who's very knowledgeable, so I think that, you know, he's going to bring them back to that glory. They've made a total of $85,000, which is, I would say, mid-tier kind of among all the teams in the NBA2K League when it comes to all-time winnings. Season 1, obviously, this is the year they had Hood and Sick. They won $15,000 in the tip-off tournament. Turn, they walked away with nada. Ticket, they walked away with $12,800. Believe it or not, funny thing about a lot of this is a lot of times the reason they lost in tournaments was against Knicks Gaming, the team that ended up winning the 2K League Championship. But let me tell you, Cavs Legion, every time they played Knicks Gaming, that was their kryptonite, I will say, in Season 1. But they did make playoffs that year. That was the only year Cavs Legion ever made playoffs. They made $50,000, which, like I said, among 6 people, we're looking at like $8,000, maybe something like that, which isn't too bad. Season 2, it was just terrible. All they did was make money in the ticket, but that's about it. Obviously, that was a bad year. And then this past year was the worst year in Cavs Legion's history overall. They made $0 all across the board in season 3. So this team is short and simple. They made 85 grand in the 3 years, but most of that came from season 1. So hopefully they get back to where they were in season 1 because it's not looking good right now. We're going to jump over to Celtics Crossover Gaming. My guys up in Boston. So they've made $156,800. Pretty good. I think with obviously they've been to a lot of finals. They never closed the job. They've always lost in the finals of a lot of tournaments, which is unfortunate because they probably could have had so much more money in their bank. But hey, I mean, someone's got to lose, right? So anyway, for season 1, tip-off didn't really do anything. I actually think that they got. I'm pretty sure from my memory, they got snubbed during the ticket tournament because they had the group stage, and I think that they had a good record, but they were tied with multiple teams, and the tiebreaker came down to, I think, point differential, and Celtics lost that. So I'm pretty sure the Celtics were they didn't do bad, they just didn't move on. But the next thing I'm going to go into, obviously the Churn tournament. I'm pretty sure they lost in the finals to the Blazers. And then I think did they lose in the ticket finals? I'm pretty sure they lost in the ticket finals in the second place because $24,800 is definitely not a first place prize. And Celtics Crossover Gaming did not make playoffs. So we jumped to season 2. Season 2, they did very well. They went to the tip-off again. I'm pretty sure that's like a third or second place prize pool money right there. They did make $7,200 from the turn, which is decent. Ticket $0, and then they did make playoffs. This was the first time Celtics Crossover Gaming ever made playoffs. But like I said, they lost and they split money. But they all walked away with an extra 10 grand on their salaries basically that year. Well, actually more than that if you think about it. If you add up all that, it's probably more than 10 grand. But anyway, moving on to season 3. Season 3 was just a terrible year, worst year, and I hate to say Fab's career because it is a team effort, but Celtics just did not look good, and it showed when it came to money. They only made $2,500. They almost walked away with a $0 year because if it wasn't for FTW, I think they would have walked away with nothing. But FTW came in and they ended up winning a cash game, which ultimately kind of kept them out of that goose egg range when it came to season 3. Hopefully they can get it together during this off season. They're doing a lot of big changes, but it just was not good this past year, and it's not the Celtics Crossover Gaming we've seen in the past. So anyway, we're going to jump over to Gen G. So it's expected that they're obviously I put in zeros for all the things because they weren't a part of the league at that time. Maybe I could have put NA, but either way I put 0. Their total winnings is $20,000 for a first year for an organization. That's not too bad. So I'm going to jump to season 3. So season 3, they did do very well in the tip-off tournament, which I think Kai was showing early on in the league that he looked like an early favorite for Rookie of the Year, and he kind of fell off. And I think that they had a lot. I think it came mentally at one point mentally draining for them to put all that work in, and just I think they kind of just fell apart near the end. And they made $0 the rest of the year. All they did was make that 20 grand. That was it. But that's really it to Gen G so far. Hopefully we'll see more changes. Which the Shanghai Gen G Tigers. They're located in California, but they're called the Shanghai, I think. But either way, whatever. Not bad for an organization to start out with a $20,000. There's some organizations that have less than that, believe it or not, and they've been in the league for 3 years. So we're gonna jump over to Grizz Gaming. Now, Grizz Gaming is a very interesting one, guys. So Grizz Gaming. Yes, I think they actually won their first tournament game this year. Obviously Goofy he's had a culture to winning a championship. He knows what it takes to win in big games. But they had $0 in season 1. They had $0 in season 2. And the first time they ever won any prize pool money. And if it wasn't for cash games, oh man, it would have been bad. So who's making the money? You'll see, Joe. You'll see. We'll get to. I have all the rankings season by season. Once I run through all the teams, we will jump right to that. So, like I said, season 3, Grizz Gaming has had a terrible performance in this league so far when it comes to making money. I think every year you've made base salary for on Grizz Gaming. Their total winnings all time is $2,500, which in perspective, breaking it down to 6 people, that's like an extra $400 on your salary that you make, and that's like before taxes. So it's been rough being on Grizz Gaming. That's all I'm going to say. But obviously they made their $2,500, through that cash game. That's their first time ever winning any kind of prize pool money, which, congrats to them. That's awesome. They finally are getting out of that goose egg, but Man, 3 years in the league and that's all you got. It's kind of rough. Anyway, we're gonna move on to Hawks Talon GC. So Hawks Talon GC is another organization that obviously they've only been in the league for 2 years, but they only have won $2,500, just like Grizz Gaming. They've been in the league for 2 years, not like Grizz Gaming, who's been in it for 3. But $2,500 though, it just does not look good. It's bottom tier when it comes to all-time rankings. I'll tell you that right now. Appreciate the host, Joe. I really do. Oh crap! I didn't turn off that feature to where it plays in my ear. Oh well. Anyway, guys, as I was saying. One moment, guys. I have to turn that feature off. Nope, I can't turn it off. Oh well. Appreciate the host though. So thank you for the follow, 2K Zone. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Anyway, but Hawks Talon, the only money they've made was the $2,500 that they had during that cash game, and it's just not that good. So anyway, we're gonna jump to the next team because like I said, Hawks Talon. There's not much to it. They made money in a game that didn't really make that much money from, so they haven't done well in the league. We're going to jump over to Heat Check Gaming. So Heat Check Gaming is an organization that is, they're a mid-tier team when it comes to all-time winnings. $0 in the tip-off, $0 in the turn. They made $0 in the ticket, but they made $100,000 going to the finals in the season 1, which, it kind of makes up for that season. You know what I mean? They walked away with a decent chunk of change. They could have walked away with a lot more if they won, but it's kind of crazy. A team that didn't win any money and then they just went off in the playoffs and they won $100,000. So that was a pretty good year for them. Obviously, season 2 wasn't too well for them. They did make $15,000 in the tip-off. They made $7,200 in the ticket. I mean, they made money despite their bad year. So it shows that even if you have a bad regular season record, you can still make a decent amount of money in the 2K League. We jumped to Season 3. Season 3 was probably one of the worst years for the Heat. They didn't make any money at all in the tournament, any kind of tournament at all. They didn't make playoffs. They only made $2,500 in the money games during Week 8 and 9. So it was just not a good outing in Season 3 for Heat Check Gaming. So now we are going to jump to Joe Vegas' favorite team. Joe Vegas' team, this is their first year in the league, by the way. Fun fact, both organizations made money this year that were new teams, so our new expansion teams both made money, So Hornets Venom GT made $46,700, which is not that bad for a first year for an organization. It's actually outstanding. Obviously, they made the playoffs this year. They made $11,700 during the turn. They made that $35,000 for making playoffs. They just like T-Wolves Gaming, they're in their first year in the league. They both made money in their first seasons, which is very impressive, and that's a good amount right there. But not the most ever by a team in their first year. We're going to jump to Jazz Gaming. So Jazz Gaming has made $137,460, and a lot of that comes in Season 3. So Season 1, they had a great start. Jazz Gaming, I'm pretty sure, started out to like a 6-0 start. They were a great team, but I think we just saw a debacle within the locker room, and I think that was the biggest cause of why they kind of just fell off. But obviously, Season 1, they made $0. Season 2, they did have a little spurt. I think that's when they started kind of getting it together. They won $15,360 in the turn tournament in Season 2. Season 3, this is where they popped off. Obviously, they brought in that rookie Splash who just went off. Shout out to that guy Splash and his anime. But I made $20,000 in the tip-off, $22,000 in the turn. Cash games, they did win 2 cash games. Each one was worth $2,500, so they walked away with $5,000, which is pretty good. And then they made playoffs, and they made $75,000. They did lose in the Final 4, but hey, I think that they still, regardless, they did a great job, and they made a lot of money. Every event they could make money, they were making it. Thanks for the follow again, 2K Zone. It's just popping up my screen, but I do really appreciate that follow again. Anyway, so we're going to move on from Jazz Gaming. We're going to jump over to Kingsguard Gaming. So Kingsguard Gaming is an organization that made a lot of their money this year as well. So it just shows the growth in in winnings and earnings for the league over the years. Because you look at it, they only made $6,000 in Season 1 in the ticket. That's back when like they had Timely, Moody, and all them. They made 7,200 in the turn, and they did make playoffs season 2. That was when BP was on the team. You know, I do think BP should have won Rookie of the Year, but that's my opinion. But either way, Reezy is a good player. He's a great player. But anyway, like I said, you know, they did. That was their first time making playoffs. They won $30,000, which is pretty good. Then you go to season 3. This was the year they popped off. Obviously, this is the team that they had. It actually surprises me the fact that this is their best year, and they traded players away. They traded away Shots and Bash after having one of their best years ever. But hey, I mean, we'll see. But the tip-off tournament, they made $50,000. I'm pretty sure they went to the finals against the Raptors during that. The turn tournament, they made $22,100. That's really good. $5,000 for winning 2 games during the week 8 and 9 money games. And then in playoffs, they made $35,000. They didn't make really much noise in playoffs. I'm pretty sure they got like first rounded or whenever. I think they had like a bye or something. But either way, they did not go far in the tournament. Hey, you know, they still walked away with a lot of money, I guess, though. So $137,460 is pretty good. That's, like I said, that's probably middle tier. But once we get to these upper tier teams, the next team we're going to be talking about is one of those upper tier teams, and that is Knicks Gaming. Knicks Gaming has made a lot of money. $406,260. A lot of money. Especially split among people. Like, that's a lot of money. So season 1, they didn't win anything in the tip-off. They did win a little money in the turn, which was $12,800. The ticket, they made $75,600. Playoffs, they made $300,000. During the tip-off, they made $0 in season 2. They made $0 in the turn. They did make a little in that ticket. They kind of made a ticket run in season 2, kind of, you know, to, you know, throw it back to their old ticket, you know, times. But then in playoffs, they made $0. We jumped to season 3. This is actually their greatest regular season record, believe it or not. Despite not making a single dollar besides the $2,500 during those money games, this was one of their best regular seasons in the league. But I mean, it shows that it doesn't really matter what you do in the regular season. The way you make money is winning those tournaments, I guess, and playing well in those tournaments. So, but I'm sure the league's going to integrate more money into the regular season too when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind. So we're going to jump over to Lakers Gaming. Lakers Gaming, yes, guys, they made $0. It's not looking good, guys. It's been a rough outing for Lakers Gaming in their 2 years in existence with the league. Yeah, it's a lot of goose eggs. I'll already tell you guys now they're the only organization. This was I did a little survey asking what organization has never made money in the 2K League when it came to prize pool money. This is your organization right here, Lakers Gaming. I mean, obviously now they're building off of Tuck and Sav. We'll see what happens with that. But man, they got to get out of this. This goose egg does just not look good, guys. But that's what Lakers Gaming has made in 2 years so far. So we jump over to Magic Gaming. Now, Magic Gaming is such a I hate they're like one of those organizations in this league that's just always been short. They're always like just there, and they just always fall short of things. Like, you know, in season 1 they were 7-9, missed playoffs. Season 2 they almost made playoffs. All I can say is they were almost really close to cashing in a decent check, but they didn't get it. So it was a shame because this team probably could have so much more money in the bank. Season 1 in the churn they made $6,000. Season 2 they did make that $15,000 off of the tip off. They made $1,536 off the ticket, which that's probably that's their best year. Season 3 it was bad. It was very bad. And obviously I know they had a lot of issues going on and other stuff outside of 2K going on, but man, $0. This doesn't look good. But anyway, they made $36,360. That's more bottom tier of the league. But I don't really think that represents who they've been in these last couple of years. They've definitely been a very competitive team, and no matter what, they always come out playing. What's up? What's up, Hank? Did you do the net? No, actually, you know, we're almost at the Nets. Right now, Nets are coming up next. That's funny. Good timing, Hank. Good timing. Mavs Gaming. So Mavs Gaming has made $98,400 in 3 years, which is, like I said, it's another middle tier team. $98,000 is pretty good. Season 1, you know, despite not really have that season 1 was one of their worst years, but they actually made off with a decent amount of money despite it not being their best year. Impeccable timing, Hank, man. But they made $5,000 in season 1, you know, with the tip off. Then the turn they made $6,000, ticket $6,000, but it's just like a lot of early outings. You know, they didn't really go deep in those tournaments. Jumped to season 2, $0 in the tip off, $7,200 in the turn. And then you got 0 on the ticket, but they did make playoffs. That's kind of where they walked away with a decent. That's the first time they made playoffs too. That was the greatest record. I mean, that was the greatest streak of all time before Raptors broke it this year when it came to consecutive wins. I think it was 12, if I'm not mistaken. But so $30,000 is not bad. You know, I mean, split among 6 people is not too bad. $5,000 a person. So we jumped to season 3. Season 3 was probably their best year when it came to making money, and they obviously were still winning very well. They did make 0 in the tip-off. They made $11,700 in the churn. They made $2,500 from those cash games in week 8 and 9, and they made $30,000 in the playoffs. Can't complain there. Not a bad, bad outing. Obviously, that their money has been very spread out. It's still, like I said, it's split among 6 people. It's not crazy, but it's not too bad. I'll take it. I'll take that type of money. And up next, my guy Ank. It's his team. Shout out to Ank. He's done a very good job. That organization has definitely improved in the season 3. So Nets GC has only been in the league for 2 years. They came in season 2. They made every player on their team made base salary. They made $0 in any tournaments. They didn't make any money in season 2. We jumped to season 3. Season 3, obviously they made 0 and 0, but they started making they did make playoffs for the first time in their organization's history. Kudos to Ank and Kirk, good job. They did win 2 cash games with $2,500 each, so that came up to $5,000. So I mean, playoffs $30,000. I mean, they made $35,000. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, but hey, it's not $0 like Lakers gaming. So I mean, like I said, there's a lot of there's plenty of room for improvement. Only one way up, right? What's been the median? I'll let you, if you stick around, Ank, for a little more. I only have a couple more teams left. You can see season by season, and you can see the all-time. I'll let you see the all-time list. I have an entire list of all of it. I wanted to run through all the teams first. So we jumped to Pacers Gaming. So Pacers Gaming, excuse me, guys. Pacers Gaming has made $59,760. A lot of that comes from Season 2, and that's when they kind of acquired that trade for Ramo. Kind of shows the Ramo effect. You'll see it, obviously, with Pistons GT next, but $0 Season 1. $0 Season 3. Season 2, the year they had Ramo, they made all their money. Literally all their prize pool money came because of Ramo. That's actually kind of incredible, isn't it, guys? But $29,760 from the ticket. They made $30,000 from making playoffs. Yeah, it's definitely interesting stuff, Ank. And going across the league, I actually have all-time salaries for all the players as well. That's something I'll be doing in the future. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next team. I'm going to move on to Pistons GT. So you're about to see something interesting, guys. Season 1, when Ramo was on the team, they made $10,000, $12,800, $25,000. When Ramo left the team, they made $0. There's the Ramo effect. Ramo did come back Season 3, and they didn't do too well, but they still walked away with $2,500. But it really shows like what players' impacts could be on an organization, and Ramo's definitely one of those. But like I said, I mean, a lot of their money was made in Season 1, but when they had Ramo, I solely believe Ramo was a big part of that. I'll be honest with you, I love all the guys on that Season 1 team, but Ramo was the heart and soul, and that's kind of when the league was controlled by centers. Season 2 wasn't really controlled by centers. It was kind of more point guard, and then Season 3 was really point guard heavy. We're going to jump to Raptors GC. My guys, you already know Raptors GC, my guys, wow, $300,000. That's a lot of money. $301,700? That's a lot of money, guys. I mean, man, damn, man, that is a lot of money. I will say that a lot of it was made in Season 3, but it just shows how much money there was to grab in Season 3. But, like I said, Season 1, they made $25,000. They made playoff Season 1. Season 2, they did walk away with $7,200 in the ticket. And in the tip-off of Season 3, they won the tournament, made 70 grand. They won the turn, won $117,000. They won so there was two things. So they won 2 cash games for $2,500, and also whatever team had the highest points per game would get an additional $2,500, and that was Raptors GC. So they won 2 cash games, which was $5,000, and then they got that additional $2,500, and that's how they got $7,500 out of those week 8 and 9 games. Playoffs, they made $75,000. Now, it's very disheartening because obviously they were a team that a lot of people thought was going to win it all the way, 16-0. This is a lot of money. This is probably the best you could do besides winning the whole thing. That's probably the most money you can really make. We're going to jump to the next team, but Raptors GC, $301,700. That's quite impressive, I will say. We're going to jump to an NBA 2K League champion, T-Wolves Gaming. T-Wolves Gaming has made $381,400. This is obviously a lot of it coming from that championship that they won in Season 2. Season 1, obviously, they weren't in the league. Season 2, they've made the most money ever by any organization in their first year of existence. I think they've made the most money out of any team past Season 2, like that's entered the league. Any of the expansion teams, they've made more money than all of them because, I mean, they've won a championship. That's why. But $7,200 for the term. And they made $360,000 in the championship. That just shows if you win the 2K League, you're walking away with a good paycheck. I mean, you split that among 6 people, that's 60 grand a person. Obviously, that's before taxes, but still, it's a lot of money, guys. How do you think Bear got that car? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, Season 3, $0 in the tip-off. They did make some money in the churn. They lost in the ticket. If they would have won that ticket, they probably would have walked away with a lot more money. But they did get $2,500 in that cash game that they played as well. But T-Wolves Gaming, $381,400. That's more higher tier. That's one of the top teams, actually. So we're going to jump over to Warriors Gaming. Now, this is an organization, ever since Keena and Grady have become a part of them, they have done nothing but win money. It's actually shocking to me because they did win money in Season 1. I didn't actually know this until I did the research. They've won $419,140. A lot of money. But they won $5,000 in Season 1 tip-off. They won $6,000 in the turn. So they actually were winning a little early on. So they got a little money early on in their, they're in the league. Season 2, this is where they won the turn, the ticket. They walked away with like $181,000 or something like that in those 2 tournaments alone. And they got $60,000 in the playoffs. That was a great year for them. But funny thing about it, they almost made just as much money by just going far in the playoffs, which it just shows, like, the Sixers. Yeah, the Sixers. I'll get back to the Sixers. I messed up the Sixers one. But like I said, actually, let me fix that Sixers one so you guys aren't confused. Because I'd rather you guys see the actually what the Sixers made, because the Sixers. Actually, I'll just wait. I'll wait till I do the all-time list instead, just to make it better. But anyway, we're gonna jump to the Wizards DG. So Wizards DG has made a lot of money, and that's a lot due to winning the championship in Season 3. They've made a lot of money, guys. $511,000. $511,500. That's such a big number, I can't even say it, guys. Their Season 1 squad was really solid. They made $0 in Season 1. They made $0 in the tip-off. Season 1. They made $6,000 in the turn, $6,000 in the ticket, $25,000 in the playoffs. They made $0 in the tip-off, $0 in the turn, and then 0 and 0 in the playoffs. So before Season 3, they just were not making any money, guys. Let's be honest, that they just didn't look good. It was just rough out there for them. I will say, though, they definitely turned around in Season 3. Like, they make so much money in Season 3. Like, we look at it. $0 ship-off, okay. But 52,000 in the churn. They made 2,500 out of cash games, and then $420,000. Yeah, $500,000. You know, that just shows how much the prize pool money has grown in the 2K League, guys. Like, let's really, really look at this, guys. They made that's disgusting. Like, absolutely wild to me. Hang on, guys. I'm just fixing something real quick. Give me 5 seconds because I'd like to fix the Sixers and so you guys can see actually what the Sixers have made. I think that it obviously some people saw I messed up the Sixers. I didn't actually fix it. I'd like to show that season by season. I think that's fair to the Sixers, right, guys? To show what they made because I think that it's very impressive. They deserve the recognition for what they've done in their 3 seasons in the league. So let me just fix this graphic. 2 seconds, guys. Literally, actually, it does not take 2 seconds. This actually takes me a very long time, so I really do appreciate the support. Make sure you guys do follow as I'm fixing this because I just want to show the Sixers because I know that White Kite is going to come out, look at this and be like, "Yo, champ, where are we at? We know we made a lot of money. We want to see us." So let me do that just for my guy, Jeff Terrell. Shout out to my guy, great coach in the 2K League, former Coach of the Year. I'm sure he'll get another one of those awards because he's a great coach. All right, so I fixed it, guys. I'm about to go back to the Sixers real quick just because I promised to show the Sixers real quick. Anyway, the next team we're going to jump to is the Sixers. Appreciate the follow, 24K J Smooth. So the next team we're going to jump to is the Sixers. The Sixers made $30,000 in the tip-off when they won it, and oh, that is not the Sixers. Reset. What the hell, guys? What the hell? Okay. Anyway, hang on. So, let's just for the YouTube purposes, guys. I'm gonna just take 2. Okay, so the first team we're gonna be talking about today is 76ers GC. So 76ers GC made $35,000 in the tip-off tournament when they won in Season 1. They made $12,000, $800 in the churn. They made $0 in the ticket, and they made $50,000 in the playoffs. Champ, have you done Season 3 draft grades since the season ended? No, I have not. Actually, I have not. I've been looking into doing a top 10 unretained list first. Something I've been focusing on. But anyway, I'll get to that. Anyway, Season 2, they made $52,000. I mean, $52,500 in the tip-off. They won it 2 times in a row, the tip-off. So it just shows the money for the tip-off from Season 1 to 2 doubled. Nearly doubled. Like that's a lot more money. Churn, obviously, they made $29,760. The ticket, they made $7,200. In the playoffs, they made $120,000. $120,000. Like, the Sixers have been, that was their best year. Obviously, the crazy thing is they went from one of the best years to one of their worst. They went 0-0, 5,000, 0. And the only reason they won that 5,000 is because they won in Week 8 and 9 when they had their money games. I remember seeing Steez's tweet out, "Oh, yeah, I don't make base salary." I mean, that's true. But yeah, they've made $312,260, which is higher tier. So now we're going to jump over. So the next thing we're going to be doing is breaking it down season by season. So for Season 1, this is obviously the standings of what it looks like in Season 1 for the league when it came based on prize pool winnings. So in Season 1, Knicks Gaming, obviously they were the champions. They made $388,400. In second place, we have Blazer 5 Gaming. Obviously, they won that churn tournament, which was a good chunk of change. They did make the playoffs, where they made some money. So they made about $130,600. The third is the runner-ups against Knicks Gaming. That was Heat Check Gaming, who made $100,000. You have the Sixers, who obviously were an impressive team in Season 1. They made $97,800. Cavs Legion, I call it the team that could have been, because they had a lot of talent. They just never lived up to it. But they made $77,800. That was one of their best years ever in their organization. The Celtics made $49,600. Pistons GT made 47,800. Wizards CG made 37,000. Raptors, GC, they made 25,000. Mavs Gaming 17,000. Warriors Gaming 11,000. And then you have a bunch of 6,000s with Magic, Bucks, and Kings. And after that, Jazz Gaming 0, Grizz Gaming 0, and Pacers Gaming 0. So it was a very, very bad year. Hey, I mean, hey, Savage, you made some money at least. I mean, you could be on Grizz Gaming. You could have been on Grizz Gaming. And they were not making much money. Actually, they were making base salary. So you know what? Blessing in disguise. So anyway, we're gonna jump to season 2. True. Yeah, Savage. Anyway, we jumped to season 2. So obviously this is the year that T-Wolves won the championship. They walked away with $367,200. Actually, kind of funny. So a team that another time where a team that wasn't a runner-up comes in second place for prize pool money with $241,440. You have Sixers, who were the runner-ups, again, just like Heat Check Gaming, ranked third in season 2. They made $209,460. Pretty good, guys. That's a lot of money. Celtics Crossover Gaming, obviously they did a lot more. They made a lot more money in season 2, $104,700. You have Pacers Gaming that made $59,760. Mavs Gaming $37,200. Kings Gaming the same. Magic Gaming, this is kind of where they made a decent chunk of change, 30 grand. Another 30 grand by Blazer 5 Gaming, 22,000 by Heat Check Gaming. Didn't really have that good of a year, but they still kind of walked away with some money. Bucks Gaming, 15,360. I think that's only from one tournament. Jazz Gaming, 15,360. Knicks Gaming, same thing. Cavs Legion, this is kind of where we saw the debacle of Cavs Legion, as you can call it, Savage. They made $7,200. Same thing with the Raptors. And then you see a bunch of zeros, a lot of zeros. Again, look, Grizz Gaming, $0. Lakers Gaming, $0. Hawks Talon, $0. Nets GC, $0. And Wizards DG, $0. And Pistons GT, after Ramo left, $0. Yeah, it was bad. It hurt. It pains me because I knew how great that organization could have been. It's sad, but hey, man, it is what it is, right? So anyway, we're going to jump over to season 3, and I know you guys can't see my beautiful face, but there are 23 teams on this graphic, and I could not fit my beautiful face in this. So this is season 3. Season 3, Wizards DG, $474,500 in season 3. Holy crap. Raptors Uprising. Again, they were the runner-ups, but they came in second. I mean, they weren't the runner-ups. They were another team that didn't make the finals, but was in second place for the salaries. It's kind of like a pattern if you guys think about it. Raptors Uprising, $269,500. Warriors Gaming, no Savage, no money. I feel that. Warriors Gaming again, up there again, $166,700. Season 4, you saw Jazz Gaming, $122,100. Kingsguard Gaming, same thing, $112,000, $100. Hornets Venom GT, their first year, they made $46,000. Mavs Gaming, $44,000. Bucks GG, $37,500. I feel like they should have made so much more money, but they just had a lot of situations where they fell short. They made just as much money as Blazer 5 Gaming. All Blazer 5 Gaming did was make playoffs. Nets GC, this was actually their best year. They made $35,000. Gen G, they made $20,000. T-Wolves Gaming, despite just coming off their great year, they only made $14,200. Sixers never going zeros. They made $5,000. That was from the 2 money games. And then you have a bunch of 2,500s from teams that all won their money games in week 8 and 9. Grizz Gaming, Knicks, Hawks, Heat, Celtics, Pistons. And then you have the zero group. Cavs Legion, the debacle of Cavs Legion. And then you have Magic Gaming, and then Pacers Gaming, and then the only organization to never make a single dollar, Lakers Gaming. So we will drop to the final frame, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final frame. So this is all-time winnings. This is the moment that some of you have probably been sitting here wondering, when the hell is he going to show this? So number one all-time to make the most money in prize pool money in the NBA 2K League, Wizards DG. Wizards DG has made $511,500. Number two, Warriors Gaming. Warriors Gaming has made $419,140. Number three, Knicks Gaming, $406,260. As you can see, already the top four has 4 champions. But the crazy part about it is Warriors Gaming. Warriors Gaming, despite never winning a championship in the 2K League, has still made more money than NBA 2K League champions. Incredible. Incredible what Warriors Gaming has accomplished by never even winning a championship. Anyway, T-Wolves Gaming, $381,400. 76ers GC, $312,260. Raptors Uprising, and a lot of this money was made this year by Raptors Uprising, $301,700. Blazer 5 Gaming, $198,100. Celtics Crossover Gaming, $156,800. Notice a common theme. These teams are very good tournament teams. Kingsguard Gaming, $155,300. A lot of that was made this year. Same thing with Jazz Gaming, $137,460. A lot of that money was made this season. Heat Check Gaming, a majority of their money came from season 1 with that $100,000. But besides that, nothing crazy. But like I said, a mid-tier team, $124,700. Mavs Gaming, $98,400. Some Cavs Legion, you know, the good old Cavs Legion guys, $85,000. Pacers Gaming, $59,760. Bucks Gaming, $58,860. Pistons GT, and a team that I felt like, you know, they did so well starting out the league, but it's just the same thing with Cavs Legion. They both just fell off the face of the earth. $50,000, $300. Hornets Venom GT, $46,700 in 1 year being in the league. Almost as much as a lot of the organizations that have been in the league for 3 years. When you think about it, although obviously most of the organizations that have been in the league for years are near the top. But like I said, if you're on this last leg, it's kind of bad for you. Thanks for the follow, Legacy. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. So, number 18, Magic Gaming, $36,360. Number 19, Nets GC. Nets GC, good old base salary in Season 2, but they made $35,000 in Season 3, which was, you know, hell of a lot better than before. But right behind them, Gen G, $20,000 in 1 year. Watch out, Gen G, you know, I think there'll be another organization that's going to jump up in the charts. We get down to these bottom 3 tiers, these bottom 3 teams. It's rough out here, man. It's definitely rough. And I feel bad. But $2,500, it's unexcusable. And that only came because they were giving money out during regular season games. $2,500. And I mean, they've been in the league for 2 years. Okay. But $2,500 is unexcusable. It's so bad. Yeah, would love to see the average per season mentioned that, since you just mentioned that. I actually do have it broken down season by season. But Grizz Gaming, $2,500. And then last but not least, the organization to never make any money in the 2K League, Lakers Gaming. Now that we've concluded the list of the top 23 teams by prize pool winnings, let's talk about it, guys. You know, the Grizz have been in the league, yes, for 3 years, only $2,500. Grizz Gaming also doesn't have a top 10 pick coming up in this upcoming draft because of the Goofy trade, if I'm not mistaken. Because due to the fact that they traded multiple picks and also a future 2021 pick, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they traded for Goofy. So Grizz Gaming is in a hole. Grizz Gaming is an organization that just finally won their first tournament game after 3 years. There's got to be some change there. Lakers Gaming, all they got is Sav. I mean, Tuck as well, but you're building off of Sav, and it's definitely rough. You know, definitely got to rebuild and get, you know, do something about it. Hawks Talent, I mean, I think Hawks Talent is the one team that you could see spark off. They did bring in BP, who did help the Kingsguard Gaming make playoffs for the first time. So I think maybe if there's any guy that can turn that organization around, it can be BP. Then you have Gen G. Gen G, I think first year, not, you know, obviously not too bad. But either way, you know, there's got to be a lot of changes there. Kai's gonna, I think Kai's gotta, you know, I feel like, you know, he gave up too soon. I think he should have kept working, but that team just fell apart. NetsGC, I think that they're in good hands with my guy Ank. Obviously, Kurt's done a great job, but I think Ank's done a really, really good job. That team has obviously done a lot of trades, and it's going to be interesting what we see with the new look Nets. Yeah, the Lakers have been in the league for 2 years. No, they were not in season 1. So Magic Gaming, just, you know, they're always that team that's short. I'll never forget when they benched their starting point guard in season 1 because of some issues off the court. They could have been up there. They could have had a lot more money in their pockets, but they decided to make a move that ultimately I'll never understand. Hornets Venom GT, very impressive season 1. Obviously, they made this money by benching their star player, which is obviously that he did play, but still very impressive by Hornets Venom GT. Pistons GT, Kai and Crazy. It's definitely probably going to happen. I mean, I think if Gen G gets the top pick, or whoever gets the top pick should take Crazy right away. That's my opinion. Pistons GT, $50,000, $300. Pistons GT was a good organization coming into the league, and they did a very good job. They made a mistake by trading away Ramo, but they brought him back. Now they're kind of rebuilding and trying to get back to that old Pistons GT way. Bucks Gaming. Bucks Gaming has finally figured it out. Hopefully they retain my guy Idris. I think that it's much needed. That organization has a lot of promise in it with Reg. But 58,000 is pretty good. Pacers Gaming, they got to find a point guard. Despite not ever having a good point guard on that team, or maybe it's the system, some people say, but despite, you know, despite everything, they still have made a lot, you know, a decent amount of money. Cavs Legion, another organization that kind of fell apart over the years and needs to rebuild and get back to their old ways. Mavs Gaming, a team that's always good in the regular season, has made the playoffs 2 years in a row, but they just got to make more noise in tournaments. Heat Check Gaming, obviously had a great run with Hotshot in season 1, but this is a point guard driven league now, so they need to get a strong guard there. That's what Heat Check Gaming needs to do. Jazz Gaming's got everything they need. I think they're going to make a run at the title next year. $137,460, very impressive. Especially, you know, after their first 2 seasons, they really made up for it. Kingsguard Gaming, great job by DJ Layton. He's done a great job of really making moves during the offseason. He's had some great players come to that organization. BP, Mama, Shots, all great moves. But Kingsguard Gaming, $155,000, pretty good. Celtics Crossover Gaming, obviously that's Fab's, you know, that's Fab's organization. You might as well rename it the Fab's Crossover Gaming. But $156,800, pretty good. But we'll see what happens there. Blazer 5 Gaming, obviously they don't have the MVP anymore, Mom on that man, but I think they can still make some noise. I think they'll be fine. They'll make playoffs again. Raptors Uprising, $300,000. This was the greatest year, 16-0. Shout out to my guys, man. You know, so happy for Jerry and Jake. You know, Cook, Kenny, Reese. You know, all those guys. You know, shout out to Shane. Great job by them, man. Sixers. I mean, obviously, despite their bad year, I think they're going to turn it around next year. They'll be back. Radiant's going to be in that lab working hard, and I think the Sixers are just going to continue to be, you know, in that top tier when it comes to making money in this league. T-Wolves Gaming, they got to get some pieces around Bear. Like I like J Money, but I don't know if J Money fits Bear, and that's my opinion. But like I said, T-Wolves Gaming, either way, they made a lot of money in Season 2, and they're still top tier. Knicks Gaming, same thing. They made a lot of money Season 1, but they never have been the same. Despite their best regular season record ever, they didn't really walk away with a crazy amount of money. Warriors Gaming, one of the best organizations ran in the 2K League. Very impressive, their leadership and everything they have there. And that's why they're up there when it comes to top salaries of all time. And Wizard CG, congratulations to my guy Dave Fry, proving all those haters wrong, turning his, whole perspective around of how people viewed him. Definitely proud of him, Shout out to my guy Nudini. Nudini, he's somebody who's made so much money, man. But like I said, this money is life-changing, guys, and if you guys ever want to be a part of the NBA2K League, man, just work for it, because I'm telling you, like, the money you can make with this, like, you look at this right here, it's crazy, Think about it. These guys play video games for a living, and, they're making this type of money. Obviously it's split among 6 people, but either way, it's a dream job, guys. Don't take it for granted. Work hard. If you want to be here, man, you just got to work hard, man. That's all I got to say, but anyway, guys, let me get to the end screen here because I am going to wrap things up. So I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. It means so much to me. Make sure you guys do support the stream by following. This will be uploaded to YouTube. Even if you guys don't watch the full video, go give me a shout out, hit that retweet button, whatever. Go watch the video, click that like button, subscribe to my YouTube. This will be uploaded. If you look in the bottom here, future videos that I'm working on, I am finishing up the top players' salaries, so you'll see who's made the most money in the NBA 2K League. So you'll finally get to find out how much money do these NBA 2K League pros really make. We'll also be doing a top 10 unretained list. And stay tuned for the mock draft that's going to be coming up, guys. We have very good plans. I'm working with the 2K Zone on some things, but looking forward to a lot of different content, guys. I really appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you guys, like I said, follow me on Twitch right here because there will be more content like this. Also, go check out my YouTube page. Go check out some of my old videos. Some of the new ones are going to be coming out. But like I said, I appreciate you guys, and as always, Champ2K out.